I'm Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us. Bombshell tonight. A 36-year-old father of two charged by a secret grand jury with sodomy and murder in connection with the brutal kidnap, the murder, then burning the body of a 14-year-old high school cheerleader, Alicia Debolt. 36-year-old Adam Longoria
charged this morning with the capital murder of Alicia Debolt.
The 14-year-old girl had been burned beyond recognition.
Charged of criminal sodomy.
The murder case of 14-year-old Alicia Debolt.
Positively identified as the body of 14-year-old Alicia Debolt.
She went missing Saturday, was supposed to be going to a party with her friend.
Alicia's ex-boyfriend gave me her number and told me to text her and let her know that we were having a party.
He told us then he was cooperating with police.
He said, have you had any contact with her before? I'm like, no.
We brought the charges that have the possibility of bringing the charge of death.
On the night Alicia disappeared, Longoria says he never saw her.
I do not know where she was on Saturday. There was a so-called rumor going around that the party was going to be at my house, which it wasn't.
Straight out to Rita Cosby, investigative journalist, author of Quiet Hero, who's been reporting on this case. So a secret grand jury meets and hands down sodomy and murder charges. Now, sodomy can mean one of two things, Rita Cosby. It can mean either forced oral sodomy or forced anal sodomy. Do we know the facts in this case?
We do not know what type of sodomy, but clearly they have evidence of a sexual encounter of this nature. And indeed, these charges, along with capital murder, Nancy, mean possibly the death penalty. They are taking this very seriously. The other thing, too, and you brought this up, is just the belligerence, just the attitude of Adam Joseph Longoria when he was in court today.
Wait a minute. Wait, Rita. Liz, put him in full. I want to see Longoria in court. There he is, puffing up, looking around. Rita, in some bizarre twist, look at him looking over at the victim's family. He stared them down. Man, that's some chutzpah. He allegedly murders, sodomizes, and then burns the body of their 14-year-old girl. Then he stares them down in court?
It is absolutely disgusting. Apparently he was staring at the family the whole time, and needless to say, this family is so distraught, so devastated at this news. And then the also audacity, he wouldn't look at the judge. The judge was saying, do you understand these charges? These are very serious charges. He wouldn't answer him, and then finally he looked away at the judge and said, yeah, was very dismissive of the judge, and then apparently stood on the table with his fist, staring at the family. It's just disgusting, Nancy.
Out to Craig Mead, reporter with KNSS News Talk Radio, joining us out of Wichita. What happened in court? It was just a couple hours ago, Craig.
Well, just exactly what you heard. It was kind of tense because Adam Longoria continued to look at the family of Alicia Debolt. He was, I would say, disrespectful to the judge. She said you have to answer yes when she asked, do you understand the charges and do you understand the penalty? He looked down at the table and wouldn't say anything, and she said, you have to answer yes, and he said, yeah. It's just a very disrespectful moment there, and he did continue to stare at the family of Alicia Debolt all through the process.
Okay, so I need to just make the viewers aware about what we know that we can report on anyway about this 36-year-old father of two now charged with kidnapping the little 14-year-old cheerleader. He's formally charged with sodomy and murder one. I noticed he didn't catch a charge for burning the body, Rita Cosby. But what I want to talk about very quickly is this is the same guy that was wanted in, I believe it was North Carolina, for calling elementary schools and doing bomb threats.
Yeah, indeed. He has a pending charge there. He had apparently called 2 elementary schools, and these were schools in his neighborhood too, Nancy. So he was wanted on that. And then also just to show this guy's background. I mean, he's a sleazebag because he spent basically his entire adult life in prison. And in fact, he just got out of prison on May 25th. For serving a 7-year sentence, and this was evading authority. He escaped prison also. He had burglary, he had larceny, he had aggravated assault. This guy's got a track record a mile long.
And catch this. You know what? I want to see the defense lawyers when I report the next thing I'm going to report. Unleash your lawyers, Liz. Sue Moss, family law attorney, New York. Raymond Giudice, defense attorney, Atlanta. Richard Herman, defense attorney, joining us tonight out of Vegas. I don't want to even know why you're in Vegas instead of New York. Don't tell me. But listen to this, guys. This guy, Longoria, while he's in prison in Texas, brings a lawsuit against the jail claiming that he was physically mistreated. Now, this guy actually sues for thousands and thousands of dollars saying he is being mistreated. It's the same guy that allegedly sodomizes and murders and burns the body of a little 14-year-old cheerleader. Sue Moss, isn't that a little ironic?
Absolutely. It is unbelievable and outrageous. 2468, this cheerleader killer will have a death fate. Not only does he kill her, but first he sodomizes her, and don't forget he burned her. We don't know yet if she was alive or dead when he burned her body, but there's a special place in hell for him.
Raymond Giudice, defense attorney, they have now formally handed down an indictment on sodomy and murder one. I saw the murder one coming, all right? But Mark Klass was right all along. He said from day one this was a sexual murder. And now they either have him confessing to sodomy, which I doubt, or they have DNA evidence somewhere on the body of the 14-year-old girl, Alicia Debolt, that will prove sodomy.
Right,
DNA.
and that will be also a foundation for the jury to give a death penalty if the state, and they have not yet done so, given notice that they are seeking the death penalty. They have indicted it so that they can seek it. I would submit to you that this may be an opportunity for the defendant. The state may be saying, if you want to plead guilty now to consecutive life sentences, do it before we charge you with the death penalty.
No, Richard Herman. This is worse. This is worse than 2 life sentences. And another thing, I'll never forget a murder case I had where the defendant tried to explain away why semen was found in the anal cavity of the murder victim. I can't wait to hear what he's going to say, Richard Herman.
Well, Nancy, contrary to Dr. Seuss Moss up there, I don't know how, and maybe you can tell me how they're going to prove sodomy on a charred body like this. There's no DNA there, Nancy. It's charred. It's destroyed.
No, Richard, we don't know how badly her body was charred. And there's no way you can tell me that you still can't get DNA out of body cavities.
Murdered cheerleader Alicia Debolt.
Longoria's neighbor told us he met Alicia Debolt in Longoria's garage that very same night, the night that she had disappeared.
That search warrant was executed at his home and in his garage, and that is a critical fact.
Tonight I'm covering Nancy's show on Alicia Debolt and Adam Longoria. But if she pulls it on again tomorrow, I'm not going to cover it because there'll be nothing new. The next time I'll cover it will be when there's something new. Because all they're going to do is tear things apart. And we have to just remember that this is a 14-year-old girl who ended up being murdered and burned.